I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, double honors to our elders and apostles who rule Great Millstone well, and Shalom to all you Akim pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the whole earth. May you brothers endure to the end. Shalom. Once again, I'm talking about this book called Heroes and Villains, Inside the Minds of the Greatest Warriors in History. This is in the first chapter. Starts on page 11, continues to 12. It says, the great conquerors emulate each other. Julius Caesar is said to have wept at the age of 33 when he reflected at that age. Alexander had already conquered the known world while he himself had barely started on his career. Napoleon too dreamed of conquest in the East that put his name on a par with Alexander's, yet those who turn to Spartacus are those who are prepared to die for others. Okay, so Napoleon was French, so he was an Edomite. Alexander the Greek, he was a Greek, that he was an Edomite, and Julius Caesar was an Edomite. He was an Edomite. If you could even look it up now, and Edom is known as Rome. Okay. I mean, they were crying about conquering the world. You know, and that's what Esau does. He's pretty much taken over the world now, to a point to where they could go into other countries, other cities, wherever they wanted to go, and just uproot everybody that's there and take over it. They could destroy it. They could do as they will. Okay, and this ain't nothing new. It's been since Alexander the Greek, even before that by Cain and Edom, or Esau. Yet those who turn to Spartacus are those who are prepared to die for others. Spartacus was a gladiator who was actually a Jake. He was an Israelite that was in captivity, and just like you got Mayweather today, just like you got McGregor today, just like you had Tyson, just like you have Muhammad Ali, just like you have all these fighters that are Israelite, that was the same thing as it was back then. That's who the gladiators were, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Okay? And so it says, who turn to Spartacus are those who are prepared to die. For others, to cesse lo virtue in Haiti, Nat Turner in America, in the American South, Nat Turner in the American South, John Brown at Harper's Ferry, Che Guevara in Bolivia, all of whom perished like Spartacus in a bid to end outright slavery, or its close cousin, serfdom. Serfdom is more of paying rent to a landlord. Okay? So, but it's talking about slavery altogether, because if you pay rent to a landlord, you're still a slave. All right? So, in Deuteronomy 28:48, it says, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. See what I'm saying? That's what he does. That's what Esau does. He goes through and he destroys. He's been destroying since Alexander the Greek. You know? Alexander the Greek, he went through all the way from Greece all the way over to Egypt and all those lands in between, including Israel. So also did the French, Napoleon. You know, he was the one that was blowing the noses off those, I can't remember the name of them, but they said Sphinx, the ones in Egypt. He was the one shooting the noses off. All right? And he was from France. All right? Julius Caesar. Everybody knows about them inhabiting Jerusalem. You know? Romans, they ruled a amount of the world at one time, just like America to today. Let me see. Right here. Deuteronomy 28:68. And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. And that fits actually that script right there, because just like you had Nat Turner, I don't know too much about the man from Haiti, which I'm gonna look into, but Nat Turner rose up in a revolt. Spartacus rose up in a revolt. He was killed. Hannibal. They also named John Brown and Che Guevara. Che Guevara was killed. So you don't have that might to rise up against the white man. I don't care if you got a military. Look at Che Guevara. Che Guevara, that he was going to get missiles from Russia to fight America, and instead they sank his men in the Russian ship. You know, that's where they get that famous picture of Che Guevara, is where he's looking and he's actually watching his men go down in flames. Because he thought he could trust the Russians, which they betrayed him and actually, you know, allowed his men to board the ship thinking there's weapons. They sank the ship with them on it, blew it up. So that shows, you know, the ability of the so-called white man. He's able to go through and conquer. All right, just like an individual white man, a so-called white man at a low level as an individual, he's able to go get loans, he's able to start businesses, he's able to go to college, he's able to do all these different things, even get jobs, even women. A so-called white man could go into a community and get even an Israelite woman, a Jake woman, quicker than an Israelite can. Because they're in that seat of authority right now, because they're in their heaven. But soon, and that's why Julius Caesar wept, because they knew it was their time. It's their time to rule, and they're not able to excel as much as they want to. Why? The Most High keeps them at a certain level, because if not, they would destroy the world already. Esau is such a wicked man that he would have destroyed the world already. So the Most High has to put reins on him and to hold him back. And eventually we're going to destroy him, because that's how wicked they are. They got to be destroyed. They're no good. You can't even keep them in a cage. Why would you even want them to do that? Eventually, after their 1,000 years, they're going to be put to death. But like it says, no man shall buy you. Meaning Martin Luther King couldn't save you. Nat Turner couldn't save you. Geraldo, he used to be a part of a movement that got pretty big. They bought him off with his Fox News, you know, paycheck. He ain't gonna save you. Montel Jordan, Montel Williams, none of these men can save you. The only one that is gonna deliver the children of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians from our slavery, from our persecution, is Yahweh Shai. And he's going to be sent by the Father, and he's going to rain hell on this earth. He's going to put death to you. He's going to put death to you Edomites. He's going to put death to you heathens, and also you 2/3 that want to be as a heathen is. I'm going to get another script just to edify who is these enemies. Because it clearly says that in Psalms 83. It names the names. And even though you think you might have civil rights right now, because Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and you know, whatever, you don't have nothing at all. You still pay rent, you still gotta pay car payment, you still gotta pay for water to drink, even though it's all poison. You still gotta pay for your food, you still gotta pay for everything. So you're still a slave to a lord. You're still paying tribute to some king. Many kings, really. You have more slave masters now than you did back then. So it says here in Psalms 83:1, keep not thou silence, O power, Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And that's what all those men had in common. Napoleon, Alexander, Julius Caesar, Herod, they all had the same thing. They went against the children of Israel. They enslaved us, so that Israel may be no more in remembrance, because we didn't know who we were. We didn't remember who we are. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the tabernacles is talking about the house, the family, the whole tree of Edom, which is the so-called white men, and the Ishmaelites, which is the Arabs, of Moab, the Chinese, and the Hagarnis, the Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek. Ammon and Amalek are Japanese and Jewish. The so-called Jewish are the Amalek. And the Philistines is another form of Arabs that are over there called Palestine, with the inhabitants of Tyre. And Tyre is north of Israel, which would have been one time Assyria. I don't know exactly what piece of land that wood is now today. Let me see. Let me look at the map. So it would have been like Sidon. It would have been north of Galilee. Okay, Tyre. Okay, which probably would have been a form of Canaanites, pretty much. Because before Israel, the Israelites came into this land, it was Canaan, all right, which was the Canaanites. Okay, which became, once we invaded, they ran to Africa, ran to South Africa. Okay, but all these nations are against us. And then it says in verse 8, Ashur, which is talking about Assyria, also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot, Selah. You know, and once you learn who your enemies are, you know, the screen has been taken away. Now you can see clearly. And that's what the light is. The light, the being born again is seeing this truth, and you learning all over again, you know? Because you got to lose this Western mentality and start to think according to the scripts, all right? And, you know, like it says, no man shall deliver you. No man. There's no man on this earth right now that's going to deliver the so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American Indian from their enemy, which is the so-called white man, including all the other heathens, including their own people. The 2/3, that's why 2/3 of you people got to be put to death. You know, you so-called niggers and spicks, and you tontos, worthless Indians, you know. So with that, you know, I still want to say shalom, and give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to our elders and apostles who rule Great Millstone well, and shalom to all you Akim pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the whole earth. May you brothers endure into the end. Shalom.